God is the infinite potential, the force that animates. Defining the indefinable. First of all, God is not even a frequency. God just is. But the limitations of our language and cognitive conceptualization ability puts us in this odd position that we must use inaccurate words to describe the indescribable. As the Hermetic said in the Kabbalion, God is something that cannot be understood. God just is. But perhaps I have an example that might help you grasp the gist of what I am trying to convey. When in deep meditation, you don't feel anything. You don't see anything. You don't hear anything. And you are thinking of nothing. You just are. You know that you are. But other than this knowing, nothing else is there. That is what could be considered as the presence or awareness of the all. The all is that void nothingness that is aware of itself. And from nothing you can become anything. That is, the void holds the infinite potential to become anything. To experience everything. And become aware of myriads of forms and experiences. The reason why I have said that God is a frequency is for my language to get through your conceptual mind. As everything that has form or can be considered a creation has a frequency. Or an animating energy at the base of it. Or a vibration. And that is what Nicola Tesla is pointing out in this quote. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency and vibration. It is a very deep quote if you truly understand it. In simplest terms it means, everything can be reduced to energy, frequency, and vibration. And this base energy comes from the void of infinite potential we call God, or the All. Some authors like Dolores Cannon even contrast this theory of God being void, a description by David Icke, to God being pure light or love. But the fact remains that this infinite light or love is the potential that brings forth every manifestation that it intends. The source awareness imagines realms into being. The Kabbalion consider the entire realm of manifestation to be a dream in the mind of the All. And the All is dreaming infinite worlds and is manifesting constantly. Thus, there is no end. Again, makes no difference to the base concept of the All intending creation via thought. And the All is the unlimited potential of creation. Thus, we might not be able to accurately define the indefinable, but we can for sure try to grasp the base concept of its method of creation. That is, imagination. The All, Source, infinite love or superconsciousness imagines things into being. Our relationship with the All. Here is another quote from Nicola Tesla for you to grasp the All, as a being all-encompassing. And our relationship with the All. Now, where do we fall into place, in this endless creation? We are the presence of God at the point we are. That is the most accurate way to describe our existence in my opinion. We are the individualization of the All. A minuscule degree of consciousness that is awake but is connected to the superconsciousness. And the more it becomes aware of the All, the more it gets to access it. And the more it can take part in the creation game of the All. So, you can imagine things into being, just like the All, as Neville Goddard taught. Your dominant focus and attention to any subject gives it life. And it becomes a reality. The key is to think purely like the All. But we are humans with doubts. Thus, our lack of resoluteness in our intentions make things unpredictable. But we possess the same capabilities as the All. Just to a much more minuscule degree. And it can be expanded with practice and dedication. And the desire to work with the will of the All. And when the masses join together in their intentions and try to manifest together, then it is much more powerful and large scale. This is how wars occur. But it can be used to our advantage if we begin to awaken this dream collectively. Does God have a form? God meets you with the expectations that you have of it. This is why it is pointless to give any specific form to God. There are endless forms and attributes that mankind has given God in our history. And that specific imagined God appears to be real to those who worship or admire it. You will experience the version of God that you have created. Because your imagination is God, as Neville Goddard puts it. There is a fascinating 19th century book called Liber Chaos by Peter J. Carroll that describes how magic is done. And the base principle behind is simple: magic exists in the mind of the magician. Any ritual that he or she does doesn't matter. So long as the magician is able to impress his or her subconscious mind with the desired result. Therefore, these magicians can capture and even create demons and entities to do their bidding. Just by the power of their imagination and intention. Just like the All creates. Now imagine a group of people praying to their pagan god collectively for rain. And sacrificing a child, believing that the god will have mercy on them and give them rain. Of course, to modern humans this sounds absurd. But think about it, why is our history filled with such rituals and traditions? Why did people continue to do it if it is not supposed to have any effect? Well, the answer is their belief in their respective God. God is not doing anything. It is its individualizations that are imagining a deity that responds to them if they sacrifice a child. Their firm belief for centuries, if not a millennium of tradition makes it so. Thus, whatever version of God you have is the right version for you. And it will respond according to your state of being and your level of consciousness. Thus, there are so many varying degrees of experiences that people have with God. It is completely personal. People can find spirituality in pretty much every religion, and there are people who will claim that their specific religion saved their life. You are fashioning your own God in your own imagination. This is why I said in the part 1 of this video that every single description of God is so ego-like. Because our human imagination fashioned them. I won't claim that all of them are this way. But you can see it when you research the various gods of various faiths. The humanization, either in form or in attributes. You will see it if you try to analyze the God from the lens of pure unconditioned love. That they may not entirely portray unconditional and pure love. That is, there is a price you pay for the love of that God. Nonetheless, your personal relationship with God will respond to you accordingly. As the all intends to create. And you are the individualization of the all to carry this game forward at the point you are. Are most religions cargo cults? Not every deity or spiritual being from the past might have been created by our imagination. As it is never so straightforward in this complex illusion called reality. This is where I want to introduce to you a term called cargo cult. I won't go much in detail about it, so I am putting a link in the description of an article that explains it well. To put it simply. When a more advanced species comes to a primitive species with their goods and gadgets and advanced knowledge, the primitive species can often deify the advanced species. This is what this article documents in more modern times. Where the arrival of white men into the island of these indigenous people was prophesied as the coming of the Messiah and the end of suffering. I bet it sounds pretty familiar. Anyways, just read the history and religions of the world from the lens of having a possibility that advanced beings exist. The blue beings of Hinduism and their advanced aircrafts called the Manas. The Nephilim of the Bible. The Anunnakis of the Sumerian tablets. The jinns and angels like Gabriel of Quran. So on and so forth. This is just to paint a picture in your mind as to why our history is the way it is. There is more than enough evidence of advanced civilizations or beings on our planet that in my opinion is enough to consider the possibility of others. Who came here for whatever reason. And were deified. Nonetheless, the point is that not everything here on planet Earth is solely our imagination. There could be others as well who have played their part in shaping our consciousness and our stories. And these others are everywhere in our myths and tales and religions. Some of them have been benevolent and some malevolent. Just like Yeshua or Jesus. It is pointless to argue if Yeshua was a man of planet Earth or from another realm. Nonetheless, he was one of the transcendent masters who brought humanity great knowledge. Thus, deified. We do not have to argue about who was real and who wasn't. The more important point is to understand how this reality might have been led up to this point so that we can change it. Belief is just a frequency. Now, the entire build up to this point is to say this, the all responds to your frequency. Or you can call it vibration, state of being, your energy and so on. There is this in-depth chart of emotions and their frequencies or vibration rate described by Dr. David R. Hawkins in the book Power vs. Force. By the way, here is a way to gain knowledge at 10x speed. You can read this entire book on short form in just 20 minutes in the form of a summary. Power vs. Force is one of my favorite books, but it's a lengthy read. Short form has summarized it in a condensed and clear structure with the most valuable insights preserved meticulously. And if you don't like reading, you can just listen to it as an audio version. Short form has summarized 1,000 plus popular nonfiction books, including the New York Times bestsellers. It is my personal recommendation to extract the most valuable bits out of a book and save time. Short form even provides a one-page summary that you can read in a couple of minutes to decide if that book interests you or not. Many of the book recommendations of this channel and mentioned in this video are available on short form. Like The Power of Subconscious Mind, The Power of Now, Think and Grow Rich and many more. If you want to sign up for short form, the link is in the description for a free 5-day trial with a 20% discount on annual subscription for Stellar Thoughts viewers. They are not sponsoring this video, but it is an affiliate link. So your sign up via this link will help support this channel. Whatever on this chart is your dominant state of being or frequency is what the all will respond to. The all doesn't care about words. Or rather, the all doesn't communicate in words. The all responds to who you are being. Thus, whatever you firmly believe in will be introduced into your reality. You are your own reality. You are the awareness of the all at the point that you are. Your wonderful human imagination is God, as Neville Goddard puts it. Even quantum physics is now exploring the probabilistic universe as opposed to deterministic, which was the old Newtonian model. And the probabilistic universe opens the possibility of the multiverse, endless existences, and infinite versions of you. Thus, if you change your inner reality, you change your physical reality. And are shifted to another world like yours, but with slight change to your personal life to accommodate for the change in your state of being. This is why the law of assumption community keeps saying that circumstances do not matter. As our focus and attention manifests. We are just clumps of energy at the base of our existence. And we are vibrating at a certain rate according to our dominant state of being. So, we change our frequency, we change our world. Therefore, magic is real. You can create your own rituals and secret societies and it will work, so long as you blindly believe in it. You can serve the demonic and the demonic will respond. There is no power in the blood of an owl, but in the mind of the black magician. As long as you can change your state of being by impressing your subconscious mind. This is why every religion spiritual healers are able to heal as described by Dr. Joseph Murphy in the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. As the belief of the person in his or her respective deity to be healed, heals him or her. Not the specific religion or faith. You send the right frequency to the all, and the all will do the rest. The seed of evil is within us. So long as we live our lives from the egoic lens and believe in separation, we will bring chaos into this world. Now why is it that the seed of evil within us is planted by the all-loving God? Various researchers have attempted to answer this, like our mind has been tempered with or hijacked by other beings to separate us from divine. Namely, the Anunnaki theory has this angle. Or according to Dolores Cannon, planet Earth is a school, and we are here to learn spirituality and burn karma to advance to other worlds. That is why we forget who we are when we come here. And religious inclination is also towards this being a temporary world meant to test our faith. But all ideas say the same thing, that we forget who we are when we come here. There is a veil of amnesia on us, and we don't remember anything. How we got here and what we are doing here. Hence, we are born into separation. Unless we are extremely lucky and our parents are awake to the truth. Thus, the seed of evil begins with separation. When it is about survival. When it is us or them. When you are living your life with ego alone. My opinion is that this is by design. As Neville Goddard said, God became man, so that man may become God. You must forget that you are God in order to have a genuine experience of what it is like to be a man. A rock must forget that it is the essence of the all, in order to have the true experience of what it is like to be a rock. The veil of amnesia is what advances creation and generates unpredictability into the game of life. Unconscious people do things that a loving God won't do. Wars and cruelty are creation nonetheless, no matter how painful. Since the all allows all possibilities, evil is an option. And unconscious people will choose evil often as they do not have the divine knowledge yet. But there is no other. So to put it simply, there will always be evil, so long as people are living through the ego and not their divine center. Their I amness. Ego is the seed of evil. And it seems like it is by design, for an authentic human experience for God. So how do you experience God in your daily life? God is present when the mind is absent. There is an awareness of God that is present behind your mind that Eckhart Tolle talks about. This presence is in the background when we live life solely from the point of view of ego identity. But it is always there. It is a void state of nothingness, but experience. You live life without the mind. I will be making a meditation soon to reach this void state and experience pure presence. But to put it simply, sit down comfortably in a distraction-free and ideally dark room. And put on noise cancellation headphones. Basically, close off your senses as much as possible. And breathe deeply. Observe your mind. And relax to the deepest. Eventually the thoughts will stop. And you will feel floaty. This is that void state. This is what spiritual teachers strive for in their meditations. The pure presence of God without the egoic human identity that we call ourselves. Just being. This is what Neville Goddard teaches. The state akin to sleep, where whatever you imagine will become your reality. This is what the CIA teaches for remote viewing. In this state you can astral travel. You can have an out-of-body experience. In this state you can access the Akashic records where all knowledge is present. You can imagine things into being. This state of no mind is what Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches to miraculously heal people. This is the no-mind state that the magicians try to reach to perform magic. This is the state that Dr. Stephen Greer teaches in his CE5 experiences, where they try to connect with extraterrestrials and higher dimensional beings. Basically, this is the state where all magic lies. The God state. The void state. Your divine center. Where you first become nothing to then become anything. You are there in the presence of God. Dare I say, you become or experience God. God is the void that holds all potential. And when you become void, you are also all potential. Some can even just be there and experience infinite love. Most people who have near-death experiences have experienced this expansion of awareness, connectedness, and infinite love. So, practice this state and you will experience God in your life. You can become autotelic this way if you do this in awake state in your day-to-day life. That is, you receive hunches and inspirations from your intuition. Just quiet your mind and do the activity. Sportsmen call it being in the zone, when the play is in flow and their body seems to move on its own. So why are you not supposed to know this information? Because it breaks the control of existing theologies, religions, politics, the ruling elite and their power dynamic. They indoctrinate you by using some kind of higher power concept that you are seemingly dependent on to enslave you. They make you believe that you are a little human who needs them to guide and protect you, save you from hell, and so on, it keeps going. Shattering of this control system is unacceptable for the beneficiaries of the system of planet Earth. You are being forced to vibrate on lower level emotions with endless cheap dopamine, so that you may never break free from the illusion. So that you can be an obedient little follower. They don't want you to know who you really are. Because you become free when you realize this. And you start to question things. You become independent in your relationship with God and realize that there is no need to beg. So, you automatically become uninterested in following anyone and you take your own path. Slavery ends. Therefore, this knowledge is a prerequisite for you to break free. But this is just an introduction. You need to look for your own answers. Some will say that if we are not supposed to know this, then why is this being allowed to be released on YouTube? Well, the powers that be have faith in their years of indoctrination and disinformation. They have faith that very few people will pay attention to this kind of knowledge. And even fewer will actually believe and research it. I have seen first-hand reaction of religiously and generationally brainwashed people to completely reject this information without even considering researching it or give it any weight. Because they are afraid, their whole identity will shatter and what they believe to be the absolute truth. The truth or alternative point of view is often frightening. And takes a brave heart to embrace it. Anyways, for those who are seeking, I have been working on a comprehensive model of reality that attempts to answer questions like how this reality works, who we are, why are we here, and what happens after death. It's coming soon. Subscribe if you don't want to miss it. Keep looking for your answers and you might come to similar conclusions. But no matter what you find, always stay in your divine center. That is, I am.